ISI, not to be confused with the terrorist organisation ISIS, have just released a new update to Rfactor2 in the form of their go-karts, 125cc go-karts. Now the visuals pretty much stay the same, although Rfactor2 has received some updates in the visuals and updates to the tracks as well. But with this go-kart, the visuals have stayed mostly the same. But crucially, the most interesting part is that they've changed the physics and the contact patch and aspects of the tyre model, which is very exciting indeed if you happen to be into driving simulators. So we're going to jump in and give it a bit of a bash. I've just been driving the old go-kart, so it'll be interesting to compare and contrast. The acceleration, absolutely appalling, but that's go-karts. Need to shuffle about in the chair to get going. And well, first corner, the car definitely seems, I say car, it's a go-kart, it definitely seems a lot more progressive. The previous one had sort of, felt quite rubbery and nice actually, compared to other go-karts in other simulators. But it had a very sort of bitey grip limit. This feels a lot more progressive, a lot more smooth to go into its sort of different states. A lot more gradual. This is off after a couple of corners, and it's not bogging down, which is nice. The original go-kart, if you threw it into a corner, or say I'm coming around these corners now, if I was to dab the brake with the original one, it would turn in quite nicely and do a little bit of a whoops, I'm getting absolutely tagged by the AI. It would turn in on the other version, and it had a nice rubbery sort of profile to that turn-in, but the engine would completely bog down. Whereas this, it just seems more progressive overall, and a lot more linear in the way it's losing grip. The other one had a sort of very defined curve to how the grip fell off and how the engine bogged down. Oh, and it's a lot easier. I just put on way too much brake there, and it's a lot easier to catch with this one. So I've actually made this. I mean, the thing is, using the terms easy and hard with driving simulators is a bit useless in many ways, because different people find different things hard and easy, and when you start putting time into any car, you know, what's hard and easy again sort of changes. But I think this is more approachable and more intuitive than the previous go-kart, so I guess you could define that as being easier to drive. Now the AI I've set to 95%, and they seem to be pootling along quite happy. They're certainly showing me a thing or two as I slowly catch up with them. But the AI with the go-karts are absolutely fantastic, to be honest. They seem to be driving around as you'd expect, and go-karts or AI tend to struggle with go-karts. I think AI in general tend to struggle with tight tracks with tight corners, and that's basically a go-kart track. But they seem to be doing this all right, a reasonable pace. As I say, 95% difficulty and 50% aggression. They're doing better than me. I'm all over the place. For some reason, the race was just a sprint, so we'll have to restart the race and go again. See if I can do a bit better. But it's really promising actually. Let's go again. Standings, restart race, and then the new interface on Rfactor2, just so much nicer to use. You know, I'm a little bit shallow. I like a nice clean interface. I like things to feel a little bit modern. Cheat. There we go. On the AI actually starting. Before the AI seemed to find it easier to start, I guess because the karts had a bit more acceleration. Now the AI seems to start at the same time as me. Oh, riding the curb. Again, actually, there's an interesting point with the curbs. The kart a lot more stable going over the curb. I don't know if that's just coincidence, but it just seemed to not lose control as much as the previous one. What I need to try actually is going onto the grass a little bit, because that was something that caused spins very easily with the previous kart. I mean, this feels really good, to be honest. Even with the G25, which I say isn't the best of steering wheels with Rfactor2. You know, I'm getting all the information I need. I'm getting nice track texture bumps. Feel what the back end's doing for the most part. And the AI is making a mockery of my driving ability. Let's try and actually perk things up a bit and catch up with them so we can look at the models. Because again, actually I think that's another thing that Rfactor2's done really well with the go-karts is when you're in a pack of the drivers right up against the models, they look really convincing. Like right now, this situation lines up very close to with my limited experience with real-world go-karting. And yeah, okay, the drivers are a little bit static in their little chairs, but other than that, it's fairly convincing. If this had Oculus Rift support, I'd be screaming my trousers off right now. We've got to catch number 6 before the race ends. Of course, the world famous 5-lap racing that's been the standard in go-kart racing. Oh, here we go. We are actually catching them. Yeah, this is a lot easier than the previous go-kart. A lot more progressive. With that, you could argue there's a little bit less satisfaction in terms of throwing the kart into a corner and how the kart sort of reacts to being thrown in. That was quite satisfying with the old one, but overall, I think this is more enjoyable. We're going to have to try this on the other kart configuration. This Quebec superkart track comes with 4 layouts, I think. One of them has a bridge in the middle, which the health and safety officers would probably have a problem with. Let's go back to the menu. Let's get this up. Pick the track. Now the new menu, as I say, the changes that they've done to this, to Rfactor2, there's the bridge there. Health and safety nightmare. Every weekend, someone unfortunately dies by launching their go-kart into a tree and landed on the neck. But the Quebec superkart track, it's Quebec. They don't care. They're probably all stoned. As the marshals just sat, they don't care. A sort of European attitude. But okay, let's go for this. We're ready. I totally lost my train of thought there, thinking about stoned Quebecians. Here we go. Oh, it's so slow off the start. You need to put like a Wii Fit board under your bottom, and then you could jiggle your bum and do that shuffle to get the kart going. That would definitely add to realism. There you go, ISI. A really good tip for you guys. I'm sure that's something you use. Over the bridge. Oh. Now you can see here actually that this is a sort of track which the AI are struggling a little bit with, because this has the really windy corners. Let's just power over the bridge. But I'm getting a really good feeling off this. I kind of like a bit more of a blend of the previous version of the kart with this, so it was still, as I say, the previous version had a little bit more punch to it in some regards. So it'd be nice if they can maybe get a bit of that punch back with this progressive nature. But that always seems to be the compromise with driving simulators. You either have something that's progressive and collectible and smooth, or you have something really punchy, and then it seems an absolute nightmare for developers to get that balance right between those two options. Oh, that was interesting actually, tapping into the back of him and the kart very much stable. With the previous version, again, if you bumped into people, I think it was a lot easier to end up spinning. He's getting slow. I'm going to just launch over this bridge. I'm not even going to touch the brakes. We're going for orbit. Well, that's alright, that. really don't think I'd want to do that in real life. Can you imagine that'd all be going through your backside as you land? No suspension, just a bit of chassis flex and a tiny bit of tyre bending. Probably end up snapping the wheels off. Go for it again. Oh! Actually, do you know what? I think they might have improved the gravity in Rfactor2. The car seems to be falling to the ground a lot faster than previously. It seemed a bit floaty before. Maybe I'm imagining that, but it certainly seems that way. Maybe it's all the cannabis smoke from the crowd affecting my thinking ability. Whee! Oh, that's awesome. Oh, they need to have Oculus Rift support with this now, because that would be absolutely fantastic. And we need more go-kart tracks. Let's get some UK go-kart tracks. Oh, we're going to finish. What position? Limp wrist Jonathan on the flag there. Of course, famous for being the most limp-wristed race finisher in all of go-karting. We'll finish the race. Let's just drive in someone. Let's drive into number 1. Oh, dare you beat me. How dare you beat me. How dare you. But yeah, definitely a world of difference between this and the previous version. Definitely a lot more progressive, a lot more approachable, and in my opinion, a lot easier to drive. In some regards, actually quite similar to the game Stock Car Kart, though I think it's a little bit slower. They're probably different go-karts, but you know, it's along that lines of just more progressive feel. So absolutely fantastic job by ISI. Keep getting them confused with ISIS. Not the same people. But fantastic. So let's get some more go-kart tracks. I might actually try and get my local go-kart track into this. Someone's probably modded it for Rfactor. Someone's probably going to be able to do an Rfactor2 version. But absolutely fantastic to try it. But good job, ISI. Nice changes. And really good fun. In fact, I'm going to renew my online, because I'm sure people are going to be racing this online. So we'll do a video of it racing online and see how we compare to other people. But thanks for watching this video. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.